I live in North Carolina and everyone's moving here. Maybe I should get my North Carolina real estate license. I think it's a great idea, guys. I just got mine last month, and now in this video, I'm going to show you the steps and the costs associated with each step. Step number one, you have to enroll in a pre-licensing course at a real estate school here in North Carolina. So how do you find the school that you're going to go to? Well, if you're like me, you probably Googled real estate schools in North Carolina. That's exactly what I did. And when I did that, a bunch of schools came up and I found myself looking at the Go School. And then I went to their review page on Google and I saw all these great reviews. Now, I just want to let you guys know the Go School has nothing to do with this video. I'm not getting paid to tell you about the Go School or anything like that. This is my genuine experience. I saw their great reviews and I decided to enroll with them. There's all different schools here in North Carolina. Some are offering only online classes because we're in the era of COVID. Others are doing online and in person. You can decide what works best for you. I did the online format and I was extremely happy with the education that I received. The instructor, the course, everything worked out really well. You can do the Google search or you can go to the North Carolina Real Estate Commission website. And if you go on the website, you're going to go to this area here, and there's a drop down, and you will see the different pre-licensing education providers in the state. And you can pick a school that way as well. You don't just have to rely on the Google search. So there's different ways to do it. Now, how much does it cost to take the pre-licensing course? How long is the course? My course lasted, it was 6 weeks. I went 4 days a week, and each class was 3.5 hours long. So altogether, that is 14 hours of schooling per week. And during each 3.5 hour session, we had 2 10-minute breaks. It cost $399 for me. Now, I say for me because I elected to sign up early. My class started on September 13th and I enrolled in early August, so they gave you $50 off. If you enrolled closer to the beginning of the course date, I think it was $449. Expense number 2 is the textbook. This very heavy book right here. It's called the Modern Real Estate Practice in North Carolina, 10th edition. I don't know if this is the book just for the Go School or if it's for all the schools in North Carolina. I'm not really sure. The Go School sells these books directly. They were selling them, I think, for about $50 or so. But because I'm a bargain shopper, I went on Amazon to try to get a used copy, and I bought my book here for altogether $44.54. That was the total drive-out price with taxes and everything. So that's $44.54. And I also want to let you guys know that I got a used condition acceptable type book. So what I'm trying to say is it wasn't like brand new and it wasn't like slightly used. It was kind of like the worst level that they sell on Amazon, but it was perfect. It worked out just fine for me. I don't even know that it really had any notes in there, so it's a great book. The third cost is the cost of a background check. Now, they tell you about this on the very first day of class. You cannot get your real estate license without going through a background check. And they recommend that you get the background check before you complete the 6-week course. The reason for that is if you've lived in many locations over the course of the last 7 years, it's going to take longer for them to perform your background check, and it might cost more as well. So I think I got my background check within the first week, maybe first 2 weeks. Some people kind of want to see if they're going to pass the course and then they do it. You can do that as well, but you're going to need to have a background check done before you get licensed. And the cost for the background check for me was $32.50. Now, the fourth expense you do not incur until you've actually passed the class. There are essentially 2 exams that you're going to have to pass in order to become a broker in North Carolina. Each exam has 2 sections, the state and national section. So you have to pass the classroom exam in order to be able to take the exam given by the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. The 2 sections for the class exam and then the 2 sections for the North Carolina Real Estate exam. Now, once you pass the class, you've earned your right to apply for a North Carolina real estate license. And with that right, you have to spend more money. You have to spend $100 to apply for your real estate license. So that is the fourth expense. So the last expense that you're going to have is the cost of taking the exam with the North Carolina Real Estate Commission, the exam fee. And the exam fee is $56. There you go. So if you add up all of these fees, you will see that I spent $632.04 just to get my real estate license. And when you become active, there are other fees associated with running your real estate business and all of that. But this is just to get you guys from the point of starting your pre-licensing course to getting your actual license here. Now that we've covered the costs, I just want to give you guys a little bit of feedback on my experience with the course and some tips that might help you. You are making a commitment of a substantial financial commitment, but you're also making a time commitment of 14 hours of instruction per week. In addition to that, you need to have a lot of time outside of class to prepare, go over the concepts and all of that. I think that they kind of spoon feed the information to you. They use all these slides because they know what you need to absorb in order to pass the test. And it's super helpful the way they teach you. That being said, it's not easy because there is so much material crammed into that 6 week period. Once they go over one concept, they're on to the next, and they're on to the next. And a lot of the concepts build upon the previous one. I recommend note cards. Yes, these are my note cards. A lot of them. I used a highlighter, I did note cards, and I wanted to make sure I learned everything. But more than anything, guys, I didn't want to have to repeat the course again all that time for another 14 hours a week for 6 weeks and spend all this money again. I mean, it's just not worth it to me. So I really tried to apply myself. And I'm a pretty good student, but I was still very challenged. So make sure you have the time to be there for the classes. They let you miss a couple, but they're very, very strict with attendance. And if they feel that you've missed too many, they might ask you to enroll in another course, just reschedule it. They require a score of 75% on both the state and the national in order to be able to take the exam with the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. Now, if you take the exam with the school and you get a 60, then you can take it again to try to reach the 75, 60 or higher. But if you get below the 60, they recommend that you just sign up for another course again and take the course all over again, which is heartbreaking, but they really want you to stay with it. And if you do have to take the course again with them, the course fee drops down to $250. But you're never even going to be concerned with that because you're going to be a great student and you're going to be on top of it. Make sure you show up for class and make sure you have time outside of class and make sure you've got your study techniques, whether they be note cards and highlighters or all the practice exams in the back of the book. They were very helpful. This is going to change your life when you get your real estate license. It's going to open up a whole new stream of income for you. Take it very seriously. You're investing your money and your time and you don't want to have to do it all over again. But I promise you, it is definitely worth it.